that we're warming up with the squat is it's a great place to start, especially with trainers, because often many of you will do it differently. You will do it differently, not accidentally, but by design. Right? For example, just call it out. How deep should you squat? To the ground. Okay, past 90. Depends on your mobility. You all have an opinion because you were mostly all doing different things, so don't be shy. Right? Anyone else have anything?
Powerlifting squats or bodybuilding squats.
Okay, you could say there's different type of squats. There's definitely different type of squats in the room. Why are you going where you're going? Is that a better question for you? That's where our body goes comfortably, but is this a good answer?
No, that's why we're doing it. They're not necessarily good squats.
They're not necessarily good squats. The reason we're having this conversation is before we start, before I show you anything technical, I want you to understand something about quote-unquote right and wrong. Okay? For me, right and wrong doesn't exist in a, this is the way you do this technique, this is the way you do that technique. Right? For example, all the kettlebell stuff I'm going to show you, we can do it a completely different way. And somebody say, well, which one is right? Which one is authentic kettlebell? I have never seen authentic kettlebell in my life. I don't know what that means. Okay? Right and wrong for me is simple. Is it safe? Does it move me in the direction I want to go with my training? If the answer to both of those is yes, it's right. Okay? You want to be a great soccer player, right? And you tell me you're going to the gym now for your training, you have very heavy preacher curls today. Does that make sense? He's great at preacher curls. He's the preacher curl master. Okay? I can tell, that's why I picture. So the preacher curl master is very safe. You have never been injured doing preacher curls. So it solves one of my demands. He's safe doing it. Will it make you a better soccer player? Is it a good use of your time? No. So I would say that's wrong for you to be doing if that's your goal. Okay? It's the same thing with the kettlebell techniques, bodyweight exercises. People spend so much time, especially on the internet, arguing about who's right with techniques. In that time, they could be training and getting better at something instead of writing articles and pointing out this and pointing out that. Watch people on YouTube. It's a bunch of experts who sit there. I always imagine smoking with like sun tanning lamps on them, you know, typing while eating McDonald's. Okay? Right and wrong is based on, is it safe and does it get you in the direction you want to go? If that's the case, you have to know why you move the way you move. Right? So if you're squatting to this depth versus this depth, you have to be able to explain to me why. And we have to see if it does produce the result. Right? It should be measurable. If it produces the result that we want and it's safe, good. Sometimes things can be polar opposites and they can both be right. And I will show you things like that this weekend. So for example, you and I decide we're going to climb a mountain. Okay? We get to the base of the mountain and you show up. You say, I'm coming too. You said, great, no problem, more the merrier. You're telling me, you know what, I checked it out. On that side of the mountain, that's the one we're going to go up. That's the perfect face, the safest route. I tell you, you're crazy. You don't know anything about climbing mountains. I'm going on the right side. I checked it out. And you say, listen, you do what you want to do. He says we're both the dumbest people he's ever met, and he's going straight up the middle. Okay? I get to the top of the mountain, I see you. You went complete opposite way to me, right? But you got to the same place. Sorry, but you died on the way up. It's unfortunate, but for the story, somebody asked him. He was wrong because he's dead. Okay? You had success doing something different. I had success doing the opposite thing as well. But we both got to where we wanted to go, and if we're safe, we're both right. Does that make sense to you? It's important, that's why I'm taking the time, because I do not want people to be so dogmatic in what they do that they think that they have the answer to everything. That will make you an arrogant teacher and a bad student, poor student, right? You should be a very good student first. A good student knows what they know, and they know what they don't. Okay? So we're always learning stuff, because there's other ways to do things. So what we're going to do now is now we will go back to the squat. Let's do another one to warm up. Let's go as low. I think you said it, right? What you said had to do with mobility. I don't remember exactly the line you used, but it was a good line. go as low as we can possibly go, given our limitations in our range of motion. So I want the cleanest form possible, maintaining a lumbar curve, everything, knees tracking over the toes, while dropping into a squat. Get as low as you can go. Let's do 15.